So let's go ahead and bring on Jamie.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hi.
Hi.
I had to get it out before you come on. You're just as bad as Brandy, where you'll go, no, stop it. No.
Well, the funny thing is that costume is not the same as the one that you saw last year. The wig is.
I was just about to say, I remember the wig.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it. But I remember seeing it. I was like, oh my God, I want to wear that. So for people who don't know you, they're missing out. But tell them who you are and what you do.
I'm Jamie McDonald. Actually, I don't have my last name on Facebook, but I own, run, design all the things for FAS, which stands for, I'll give you the PG or the P for freaking awesome stuff, because I do a little bit of everything. I have been designing for over 20 years.
Awesome sauce.
In one avenue or another.
That's awesome. Well, what if you had a way to describe your art style of like costuming? What would you say it is?
A bit of this and that. I do a lot of historical references because that's how I started. As I was in the SCA, the Society for Creative Anachronism, and I did Renaissance and all of that. And
all the stuff.
Went into children's and then went into haunt.
You've been all over the place.
Yeah.
You can't keep you contained.
No, because anything that I want to try, I'm going to try.
That's fair. So with haunt stuff, I know like a little bit of your background with it because you started with a different company and you came in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But did you do any haunt acting or anything like that?
I did for 2 years.
Yeah.
Malice, you can see Doug's hat. I worked out there for 2 years and had my own little character, and it was a fun experience. I did not know that there was such a big, huge haunt industry at all.
Most people don't. They don't expect it to be a thing.
I've gone to haunts my entire life. I've, but it didn't. It's never dawned on me. Never in a million years dawned on me.
Well, that's fair. I told Mom the other day, I was like, it's weird that there's a convention for haunt stuff. And then I think if there's a convention for haunt stuff, how many more conventions are there for just like random things? Like
for everything.
Yeah. And I never would have guessed that.
For windows.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. I was like, oh my gosh, if there's something for this, then there must be something for that. Like,
right.
It's weird to think about, but that's besides the point.
Tan, you can go to a furry character convention if you wanted to, where you could be your favorite furry character.
Doug, that's a different kind of podcast.
Well, I mean, you may be able to have something to model with one of your masks soon.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I won't say anything about it. I won't say anything. It's fine.
No, you got to now. You can't just leave us all hanging. We have 21 people sitting here wanting to know now.
Now it's 22. I had a jackalope mask, and the dragon costume I wore, I was like, I want the whole bottom half to wear to a Renaissance fair whenever I go to Texas. And I was like, so can we I don't know, make a little trade these or something? Because she wanted to give it to me for free and I said no and she got mad. So I was like, I'll trade with you. It's fine. So she comes over and screams and takes the jackalope mask and goes, this is what I want. And I was like, really? Like, you want that? And she's like, yes, I'm from there. And I was like,
that's big in South Dakota. It's where I grew up. It was jackalope. You can find jackalope almost anywhere.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, so you and one other person have my jackalope mask. Well, the problem is I can't repaint it, so yours looks completely different from theirs. So,
that's good.
But yeah,
I can't wait to bring to life what I have in my head for it.
I can't wait to see it.
It's completely different from yours.
Okay, so that I'll be up front with mine. That original costume I wore to the Trans World Costume Ball 2 years ago. And I had like this big, huge mushroom wig. David now has it, but I had a huge mushroom wig, and then the overalls that went with it. I was a mushroom fairy. And then I was like, man, I hate this costume. I hate it so much. I'm never going to wear it again. So then we just had it in the store, and I was like, oh, I'll pair it with the jackalope mask and move on. And just as soon as you walked away with the mask, I had 2 other people come up to me wanting that mask. And I was like, what is Jamie doing? And then I come to find out you were walking around with it going, look at this. Look at
I love your style. It's different. And I love anything different.
Well, that's how I feel about your stuff. It's different, and I like it.
I try.
So
I get bored really fast. So
I know. With your costumes, are they like one of a kind, or can you order them?
So yes, I can remake things, but I have a few pieces that I've done that I have made quite a few times in the past. But I strive for one of a kind because I want to create a character, not a costume. So I would prefer to not reproduce them. And it's just me. I have nobody else. Like, I design the pattern, I draw it out, I do everything.
Right.
I mean, Blair does do the mail for me sometimes. But
he's your storyteller, from
yes.
what I know.
He comes up with the stories behind the characters.
Right. Yeah.
I don't do that. I can't do
I was there for that. That was exciting.
So I do that. So I would prefer not to copy something, and I want everybody to have their own look anyway.
That's fair.
Because I designed from the ground up, it's easier to start with somebody and their character and create around that.
So I guess, how am I going to word this question? For example, the dragon that you made that I got to wear. How do you come up with the ideas for these? Like the whole process of what lives in your brain. How does this happen?
So currently, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I love AI. I know a lot of artists hate it. They hate the, everything. But AI has been the most eye-opening for my designing that has ever been. That and historical stuff. I start with a sketch. I start with an idea. Very rarely does it end up the way that I started and the way that I originally wanted to, because it just grows into its own thing. So with the dragon, I got into leather working last year. And so I had made a dragon mask, and which, didn't have the eyes and everything in it. It was just the mask. And it went over so good. I thought, well, let me try, I don't know, let's make a dragon. Well, actually, it started around the wings. I've wanted to do wings forever. And I finally decided, let's try it. So I made the dragon wings. Then I thought, oh, I can use that dragon, make a leather, and I painted it all up, put the eyes on it, made it into a headdress, and the rest of the outfit just kind of fell together.
I get that. That does happen. Like, you find just the right thing, and you're like,
yeah. Well, I did start with the eyeballs. I have a thing for eyeballs and bras, so
I've noticed.
I did start with that. That was fun. That was, all the eyeballs and all the leather all around it. And that they actually glow in UV and black light, which we didn't get a picture of, but
we need to next time.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. That rat cult leader costume I had? I was like, Dante, do you have a UV light? Because this would look so much better. It looks like crap in this. And he was like, no, I don't.
Why didn't you go over to Stewart's booth?
I didn't think about it. If I would have thought about it, I probably would have drug him over there. But he had that huge big light, and I was just trying to hurry.
But it still looked amazing.
Yeah, it did.
I think that was one of my favorites.
The rat one?
Mm-hmm.
I told Mom, I was like, all right. I took that one, the mechanic rat one, but then we took the cult leader.
I like the birthday, the one with the little.
Yeah. So that we had just went, I forgot what we were watching, but we were watching something, and they have like I don't know if it's a presidency photo, or like, how like the kings have portraits behind them and they're just standing there. Told Mom that was what I wanted for that picture. That's why I had the dog and I looked so sophisticated in the picture. I was like, I
It
need
was
a president
perfect.
photo. Well, I had so much. This is me coming from a place of I have the worst sensory issues. Anybody who knows me personally, I hate wearing costumes, like a burning passion hate. Like I
I would have
don't
never
like
known.
I was about to say I have the worst sensory issues. Like my mom will probably get in the comments and say something about it, but like I've struggled for a long time with trying to act in costumes, and I just have to come out and say that I was so comfortable in your costumes.
That's
Like
great.
so comfortable. And normally Doug, I'm so sorry. You've known me since I was a kid. Like you've known me since I was little. But I struggle with like modesty. Like I am the most modest person on the planet. Like I don't show nothing. And so whenever you handed me a leotard costume, I was like, I'm gonna get on stage and like die. Doug's gonna see me, my dad's gonna see me. Like
And you pulled them off perfectly.
I was so dude, I didn't even know. I was so comfortable. I didn't even care. Like
That's one thing that I strive for is to create costumes for people that do have issues, sensory issues, stuff like that.
yeah.
And people that don't fit on your off the rack sizes. That's a
Yes.
big thing for me. Is I
I'm
can
a-
do really, really small. I mean, I've done children.
yeah.
All the way up to whatever.
And I'm a very odd shaped person. And
No,
I
you're not.
and I fitted really good into the costumes. And as far as the sensory thing goes, like normally when I did dance back forever ago, the seams in the leotards would like touch me wrong and I would like freak out. But like whenever I put on your leotard and it had like the big piece on it, it didn't even bother me, not even a little bit. So like I just like for sensory people, her costumes are great. And I mean, because there's so much detail, because I know there's like other costume people that I really like their stuff, but there's just so many little details and like stuff that can touch you and give you dinosaur arms. But your stuff, like it looks so detailed, but doesn't feel like you're wearing 30 pounds of stuff on you.
Well, and that's honestly, that's something I struggle with is I look at other people like Adam and stuff, and I am obsessed. He's been my top one from
Yeah.
Dark Creations.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes, 100% one of my all-time favorites, and his are amazing. And sometimes when I look at mine, I'm like, I need to add more. I need to add more, but then I don't. And then I'm like, no,
Right.
because this is what I want. This is what I do. But I mean, so many are
Well,
so different and
Did you?
so
yeah.
He just got done saying Adam, and then he comments.
oh, hey, Adam.
But I mean, I feel that way. I've told mom the same thing because you and Macabre Intentions, your guys' stuff.
He's another one of my faves.
I was
Yes.
just about to say your stuff and
Joseph
his
is
stuff.
amazing at what he
Yes.
does.
Oh my gosh, there's so much detail work. But then the thing that I get worried about is because I have so many like clothing problems that I'm like, oh my gosh, I would have like my mom commented, I take off like half of my costume before the end of the night happens. Like when I worked at Sir Henry's, I had like half of my costumes, like there was pieces everywhere because I just can't do it. But yours, where it's all together in one piece, it prevents that, and then it also doesn't feel like you're wearing 30 pounds of stuff on you.
Right.
So that's very, very nice. This is me talking up your stuff. Like I mean, it's just I had way too much fun. Way too much fun in your
Good.
costume. Way too much. So I don't know. I know a lot about you, so I want to know what other people want to know. They need to put questions in because I
Oh.
need to.
Yeah, I haven't seen any questions.
I know. It's because we're
Pretty well
rambling.
know you.
I'm passionate about you, Jamie. I can't help it.
Look,
Get
keep
me
that
going.
until you see what I put with your jackalope. Just keep that.
I will die. I will die. No joke. I told mom, I was like, I never expected all of my rabbit masks, like because Scarecrow took one and you took one, and I was like, all of my rabbits are gone. That was like the most popular thing. I never would have guessed.
I know. And well, I have one of David's from Monsters Alive that I have to create something for, and that's going to be a little departure from what I normally do. So
Are you excited for it at least?
I am. I
Well,
am.
then it's fun.
I am. His horns that were put with one of my demons, I'm obsessed with. Like, I'm going to have a pair of those too for something. Probably for next year. Because I'm excited about next year's theme. Like beyond.
I'm excited about next year's theme. I've always wanted to go to a vampire ball.
I I want to do. I have a big elaborate costume in my head for it, but it's just if I actually feel like executing it. I'm like, oh, I have this big, great dream, and I'm like, I run a booth. I need to not do that. Like, I need to be a business owner. I need to not be modeling in my booth.
Yes, you do.
I was gonna. What a
Yes,
better place to do it.
I have to find a somebody to do it for me because I can't.
You next year I'll do it and you'll do it.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
If you do it, I'll do it.
Okay. Deal.
I'm trying to read the. Oh, my mom said would love to see more of your leather masks and headpieces.
Yes,
you
I
do,
need
like,
to make
the little-
more.
Like the little. They're on the back, so I don't know if people can see them or not. But the little masks you make with
Yeah,
the
that's
mon-
all. Those are the only ones I have left. But yeah, and I have a Frankenstein one, but I was holding on to him for a certain reason. I do. I can go
Just
get
send me a
him.
picture. I want to
He's in
see
the
it.
other room. You want to see him?
I want to see it.
Well, Blair's gonna go get it.
David asked, "What is your favorite costume from the fashion show?"
Oh, that was too hard. I don't know.
What about top three? Top three.
Well, does it have to be a full costume? Because I really liked the body paint.
Yeah.
That looked incredible.
I mean, it's technically a costume because it's covering your whole body in technicality. I don't know.
He won't give me Frankenstein. He's giving me all my other stuff that he wants me to put up there.
Well, then show it. Show it all.
This is a helmet.
Cool. Why aren't you wanting to show this stuff?
And it has gauntlets and a gorget and all that. Well, now he's making me show a wolf mask.
Your stuff is so good. And you said you started the leatherwork stuff
Last year.
That's crazy.
Yes, I did. These are among my first pieces that I made. That was my very first helmet I made. But this is my favorite. I have a thing for Frankenstein. This is my favorite.
Why didn't you bring him?
He goes with my you remember my Frankenstein tractor hood at CreepyCon last year?
Yes.
Yes. So he goes with him, and Blair wants to be Frankenstein this year. So,
well, he has the big boots for it.
Boots.
Yes.
Boots. And then of course we've got my bride that I did last year. Because I'm obsessed with Frankenstein in all manners.
Stop it. My God, you're so cute. I can't.
So yes, I plan to work in more of my leather with a lot of stuff because I've already got pieces that I've written down for next year. And at one point I will have a full armor done. That's
I'm excited to see it. You should do, I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know how to describe it other than like how I know the Fallout stuff is trending right now, but
my son wants to be. He's been filling my messages with Fallout stuff today.
I was just about to say you should do a Fallout something. like with a leather gas mask or something. Like you should do a Fallout song. I would cry to
It's
see
in there.
something Fallout
It's in there.
good because yes, I need to see this.
I love Fallout anyways, so.
Well, then that works out.
I haven't finished it yet though. The show. Have you?
Huh?
Have you finished the show?
Yes, I have. I finished it a while ago.
I haven't. We've had to take hiatuses.
Well, it's really good. I won't say anything. The ending did shock me though. Somebody said, "Would you do something like Edward Scissorhands?"
Anything Tim Burton I would do in a heartbeat. Anything. Tim Burton is probably one of my all-time idols.
I love it.